Hello everyone, good morning. Hope so everyone is doing great. Okay, let us start with the current affairs session. So today, yes, we have one or two more important, we have important articles for today, because these are the sections from where, yes, the articles which we will going to discuss today, these are also one of the important sections or the important topics from examination point of view also. Yani ki UPSC asked majority of the questions from this side. Yeah, from these topics. So Birsa Munda is one of the major thing which you will see. 150th anniversary of Birsa Munda has been celebrated, and he is also praised as Bhagwan. Like Birsa Munda Bhagwan, as a god, he is also praised in the community. So which is the community? What is the news? Why he is so famous? What are the basically moments which are associated with it? We will going to discuss in detail each and everything. Now one more thing, 150 rupees coin has been commemorated on his birth anniversary, and 15th basically of November it will be celebrated as a Janjatiya basically organization, or Janjatiya Divas it will be going to be commemorated or celebrated as, यानी कि बहुत सी tribal groups को, to promote tribal groups, to show as a tribute to Birsa Munda, we will going to celebrate 15th basically November as a Janjatiya Divas. Yeah, we are celebrating it as a Janjatiya Divas as well. Before that, recently a cyber exercise has been concluded between two basically countries, India and region, that is your Central Asian region. यानी कि Central Asian countries and India has conducted recently a cyber security exercise, yani to improve the cyber perspective of the country. It was held in Delhi only. And why cyber is important? Because in 2023, it is considered as one of the worst years of India cyber security. So in 2023, on an average, the cases of cyber threat was 760 approx cases per minute in the country. So that was 2023 ka approx has been calculated by the particularly departments which are associated with cyber security. And recently in 2024 it has been actually increased by 195%, and we have already discussed in one of the live session what is the scenario of 2025. Now the second important article is, we will going to discuss about that in detail also, but yes, this is also one of the kind of headlines which I am giving you. India is planning to make a underwater lab in Indian Ocean, and if once it will be constructed, then it will be going to be world deepest unexplored underwater lab which will be created by India in Indian Ocean. So by 2047, जैसे कि we are targeting as a Viksit Bharat for 2047, so that's why for the same we also want to develop in the marine sector. That's why we have target, we have planned, we have actually showed our interest that we will going to create a underwater India's first lab basically in Indian Ocean. And this is not the first basically kind of initiative. Same kind of initiative has already been launched by various basically countries, but yes, this will be India's first initiative to make underwater lab and Indian Ocean at such a deep, basically at such a depth. This will be one of the first initiative as India will going to take place. India will basically make it happen. Now the another article, basically a manned portable underwater bikes has also been introduced for the surveillance perspective. Yani ki agar underwater, if you want to go for the surveillance, we have submarines and big basically kind of torpedoes are there, but for the shorter version, yeah, for to basically from the advanced surveillance to by avoiding coming into the radar of the basically of the other country or the enemy country, for that we have actually created a portable kind of underwater vehicle has been created, and it has been tested recently in the southern part of the country. So these are the important aspects which you will see. And Nagaland may recently we have inaugurated a Samrat program. What is Samrat program? So Samrat program is related to the development of schools and academic students and colleges in basically your AI, in your robotics, in your semiconductor, yani ki in the advanced technology. So these are one of the headlines which we have discussed. In detail we will going to discuss these articles if basically in this coming week only. Now let us come on to the main topic, that is Birsa Munda. So 15th November is observed as a Janjatiya Gaurav Divas, commemorating the birth anniversary of Bhagwan Birsa Munda. So Birsa Munda is one of the most prominent face from tribal people and from specifically in the region of Chota Nagpur Plateau, and he is actually belonging from your Munda tribe. And one more theory which is associated with this, he died at the age of 25. At a very young age, he died. So just imagine, in a very short lifespan, he able to achieve that particular status by the people. He is now memorized, or he has been remembered as basically a god. So that's why, and other theories are also there, because we believe that majority of the tribal communities, they say that Britishers have killed him, but because he was in jail. But yes, क्या बोलते हैं, Britishers say that he was suffering from cholera. So cholera was one of the reason why he died. So but what important for us is, in such a short span of his life, like till the age of 25, he was able to achieve such a huge things, and he done a huge, basically he contributed at a very large scale in basically your Indian, you can say at that time, fighting against the British exploitation. Now Birsa Munda, 1875 to basically 1900. He was obviously revolutionary tribal leader, social reformer, he actually also started as a political figure, anti-colonial freedom fighter, and a spiritual head of a Munda tribe in the Chota Nagpur region. So he was also spiritual head. That's why he's actually recognized as God by the Munda people and the other tribes which are present in the Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand belt. One of the famous movement which is associated with him is known as Ulgulan. That is also known as Great Tumlut movement. So if UPSC asks you the term Ulgulan, recently seen in news, related to what? So it is a tribal movement which was led by your Birsa Munda, who was actually belonging from your Munda tribe, which is also known as Great Tumlut. So now Tumlut movement. Now there was also a debate once कि rather than 1857, very good morning beta, rather than 1857, you should make this as a first war of independence. Yani ki this should be recognized as one first war of independence rather than 1857 revolt. So there is also a debate which is going on this as well, but that's a different aspect of the news. But yes, this is basically one of the major initiative which has been taken by your basically Mundaji, Birsa Munda at that time basically, which is against the British rule and exploitative nature of basically at that time of the zamindari system, because these small basically landholders were very exploited by the Britishers, and with the combination or with the basically associations of your we called as British and your zamindar. So BJ was actually responsible for the exploitation of the tribal people. So against them, they have started basically the movement that is known as Ulgulan movement or the Great Tumlut movement, which was started around 1899 and 1900 when Birsa Munda ji was there. And he also played a very important role in Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act 1908. So what is that act? Because he had died around 1900. So what was that act? That is also important from examination point of view this year. Now, what were the socio-economic conditions of Chota Nagpur Plateau which have led to such situation? First of all, this is not only the problem, this is also not only the reason for starting of this Ulugan movement, but also majority of the tribal revolts which has been started at that time, the main reason was your land alienation. And Naxalism has also started in India 1960s because of this reason only, that is the land alienation. So this was the reason for various tribal uprising in the country, and especially Naxalism after the independence as well. Now what is land alienation? In a very simple language, when tribal people are actually not given their rights, land rights, they have been exploited by the basically upper communities or zamindars, Britishers, Sarkar. That is actually in short what means your land alienation. Now let us see the situation of Chota Nagpur Plateau at that time during your Birsa Munda ji time pe. So there were Dikus which were present. So tribal land were taken over by Dikus, and those were the outsiders. Zyadatar they were zamindars, zagidars, Britishers, moneylenders. These are the people who have taken the land of tribal people who were living in that region. So but achanak se someone has came and they said that this foreign doesn't belongs to you, it actually belongs to us, the zamindars, zagidars. So this is one of the main reason why this particularly this movement has been started by the people. Now, permanent settlement was introduced. Zamindari people, zamindars were given major powers at that time, and it has violated their traditional right. That is traditional right of basically the tribal people. That is known as Kuntakatti. Kuntakatti means कि the particularly land ownership will belong to the clan, यानी कि मुंडा tribe will have authority of that land. This terminology, this particularly concept was termed as your Kunthakatti. Now, if UPSC asks you the term Kunthakatti recently seen in news related to what? That was actually the clan-based ownership, which was actually rule of the Munda tribe or the tribal people during your 1899 and 1800 to basically 1900 के time पे छोटा नागपुर प्लेटू के region में. So this was one of the major reason, that is land alienation. Dikus, the outsiders which has came into the picture, they have taken the land of the tribal people which were present there. Zamindars, Dagidas, moneylenders and contractors, these were the people who have taken the land, because of which the indigenous tribal people, they were not happy. Permanent settlement has been introduced and they were not happy. They say that there should be a continuation of their traditional right, that is your Kunthakatti. Kunthakatti means that ki bhaiya, the clan is the ownership of that land. No other person is responsible or no other person has authority to take their land. So this was one of the major particularly reasons. Second, forced labor. The tribal people were forced basically to go for your bonded labor, yani ki bandhua mazdoor. We called in Hindi as a bandhua mazdoor. So zabardasti, they ask you, they force you, they actually hit you to work in the lands of these zamindari people. So this is also one of the major reason, which is known as Beth Begari. So Beth Begari, that is a bonded labor system which was actually present at that time, and it was widely practiced, and this is the second main reason why people were not happy and they have started the Ulugun movement in this region. Now, Christian missionaries were there. Halaki, Birsa Munda ji has actually studied in Christian school only, and he also converted himself into Christianity. This is also the particular concept which is present, if I am not wrong. He also converted himself into Christianity, but later he realized that this is not something which is justifying my indigenous nature. So again he has converted himself into the tribe, particularly community. But it is also because he was studying in Christian school and he was so much influenced by the Christian missionary. So there was a time when he converted himself into Christianity, but later he actually denied that stuff. So exploitation by the Christian missionaries, because forced conversions were done. Till now, in the current scenario also, various of the tribal people, they convert themselves into Christianity because they are saying that we are not happy with this Varna system or this class system or this basically the caste system which is present in the society. That's why we prefer shifting into Christianity. So this is also one of the major reason ki culture interference, pressure to basically pressure was made on the tribal people to convert them into Christianity. So this is also the exploitation by the Christian missionary was one of the main reason. Obviously forest laws, then forest laws has been taken. The tribal people, the forest belongs to tribal people, they were restricted for the use of forest products. So this is all currently also, this is the reason of your basically Naxalism. This was the reason of Naxalism, and same basically reason was also started earlier, which actually resulted in one of the major basically tribal movement by Birsa Munda, that is the forest laws has been taken. Famine and epidemics, obviously British were exploiting to the people. It led to lot of climatic conditions were there, lot of diseases has also spread at that time. So these are also one of the reason by which people were irritated against them, against the British government, against the zamindar and zagidars, and they have decided ki ab nahi ho raha hai, we will actually launch a basically movement against them. Now we are fed up and we are done with these people. So these are the causes which instigated Birsa Munda ji and other tribal people which were present in this region, and which lead to one of the major movement which we will discuss ahead. So famine and epidemics, cholera, malaria, administration different, these are the basically reasons because of which this thing takes place. Now, how Birsa Munda ji was actually one of the major game changer in this. So he was a religious reformer, he was a political individual, he was also one of the basically spiritual guide for many of the people in that region. So these are the basically characteristics, or these are the basically reasons how Birsa Munda has helped that territory to basically change. So before becoming a political leader, he was also known as a religious leader. What are the religious thing? He actually promoted monotheism. Yani ki he said, bhaiya, you have to pray only one God, and that God is also the forest. So today we have, if you remember, we have discussed about Sarna code. Sarna code is like the people of Jharkhand and some of the tribe of Jharkhand, some West Bengal and some basically Chhattisgarh, Odisha, they are asking for their another religion or other religion as a basically special status, that is your Sarna code या the Sarna religion. यानी कि for them the forest is basically the god and they will only going to pray the forest. No idol god, no Mahadev, no Shivji, no Vishnuji, nothing. For them the forest is the idol god. So one of the founder you can say of Sarna was your Birsa Munda ji. So that's why Sarna code is also in news, Birsa Munda ji also in news. So chances are there they can link these two concepts and ask you anything related to this. So he opposed superstition, witchcraft and animal sacrifices. He promoted faith in one God, self-purification, behavior, and he also advocating returning to the traditional Munda religion, that is your Sarna and your Dharam. So this is what actually he instigated. He asked tribal people to convert to basically again turn out to their original religious practices or religion practices, that is your Sarna or Dharm. So and today Sarna code asking people that these tribal people, that's why today they are asking for the Sarna code, which is actually one of the major reasons for tribal uprising in the current scenario in Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, majorly in Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand region you will see. Now, as a social reformer, so he was against the animal sacrifice, he was against the witchcraft, yani ki witchcraft was also in news. So something related to witchcraft can also be asked, because we have discussed that ki abhi Bihar mein one of the lady, whole family has been burned by the villagers on the suspicion of witchcraft. Then we have discussed ki different states there is no central law for witchcraft, yani ki chudail pakad leti hai. So there is no central law for witchcraft, but Bengal mein Bihar mein we have different state laws specifically for the witchcraft. So that's also become very important from examination point of view. Now the social reform, obviously he fight against the alcoholism, he was against the caste discrimination, he was a major supporter of basically tribal people. He said that there are various vulgar dances which were taking place, he was against those dances. He encouraged hygiene and he encouraged vegetarianism at that time, because he believed that ki forest hai, forest produce hai, and to prevent us from the diseases and various things we should actually follow the vegetarianism. And he also obviously he promoted unity. He said that yes, we tribal people are distributed, we have different belief, we have different faith, but इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि भैया we should act as a different community. We should promote our indigenous culture, we should talk about our indigenous nature, but we should also unite, because we want to fight these money lenders and zamindars and British. So we need to also unite together. So this is one of the major message he has given to the people. Promote unity among the tribal, that is your Mundas, Oran, Hos, Santhal. These are the major communities which are also present right now also. Now, UPSC asks you who is known as Dharti Abba. ठीक है, so Dharti Abba, not Abba, Abba. So Dharti, he is also known as Dharti Abba. That means the father of earth. So if UPSC asks you what is Dharti Abba, which of the following individual has been given title as Dharti Abba? So your answer will be Birsa Munda ji, that is the father of the earth. So he has been also given one of the title, that is Dharti Abba, which means the father of the earth. So if UPSC asks you, you should be aware of this concept, that is Dharti Abba. Now politics. So politics, one of the major political movement which you will see, that is Ulgun or the basically Tumluk movement, revolt which you will say. So Ulgun is one of the major particularly movement. Ab छोटे से lifespan में, in the lifespan of his 25 years, he has done a lot for the countries, and that's why this is one of the major particularly movement which you will see, which he have initiated against these Britishers and your tribal money lenders. So it is one of the most anti-colonial kind of a movement which we have started, and obviously we have saw the reasons. Land alienation, because the outsiders, they have Dikus have came into the picture and they have taken their land rights. Then oppression by the zamindars and the money lenders. Missionary pressure, forced conversion was there. They were actually forcing कि भैया नहीं enlightenment है ये. It's not a conversion, it's an enlightenment of yours. We want to basically make you educated of the Western education. We want to spread Western education. So for them, missionary pressure was there. Forest laws were exploited and forced labor was actually done at that time as a bekar, as a bonded labor. So these are one of the major causes why these people, or why this Ulugun particularly movement has been started. Now, what were the objective of this movement? So obviously Kuntakatti we have saw ki Kuntakatti was a land right. Under this, the indigenous clan will have the authority of the land, which was taken by the money launderers and zamindars and the Britishers. So that's why they want to restore this basically indigenous land system, that is Kuntakatti land system. Then they want to end the forced labor and the taxation system which was present there. Okay, for the taxation, one more thing. Recently international trade fair is going on, and international trade fair we have promoted about your GST pavilion and customs. So under this GST pavilion and customs, government is trying to basically make a safe place for the buyers, for the public normally like us, and for the businessman, so that we could have a very easy tax slabs, we could have a very easy tax payment system, zyada burden na rahe on the society and on the pressure. So that's why, to remove that pressure on the public and basically your businessman, this GST and tax pavilion IIT recently International Trade Fair Mate has been inaugurated, and next gen tax is basically the theme of that, basically GST pavilion and custom, and under which they are making policies and plan how we can make the tax system easy, so that public and the businesses can benefit from them particularly concepts more, and so that it could lead to more and more development of the society and the country. So this is also one of the extra news from taxation system which we have discussed recently. Now, so expulsion of the decus, obviously they want these decus, the outsiders, moneylenders, zamindars to come out, to go out of the system, and obviously establishment of a Raj that is known as Munda Raj, which means self-rule. Chances are very high that UPSC can ask question from this from prelims also, and chances are very high that UPSC can also ask question from here from prelims as well. So prelims and mains, from both perspective, this question becomes very important. So please make sure you are learning each and everything which I am discussing here. Now, what are the events of the movement? So Birsa Munda declared himself as a messenger of God. He said that I am the messenger of the God. That's why I am basically the one who is making you aware कि कैसे you should fight for your rights, how you should basically work, unite against as in different tribal communities also. You should unite as one and fight against these basically the decus which are present in the system. So spread message across what were the regions from where the message has been spread? So Ranchi, Kunti, Singhbum, Palamu. These are the region. Palamu Tiger Reserve also is there. So currently also, in the current scenario also, these cities are very important from resources perspective, from the tribal perspective, from your coal perspective, Tiger Reserve perspective. So these are also the current states. Now, what were the consequences? How people were motivated by these? So lot of series of events taken place. Now you will ask, what are the series of events taken place? The tribal people, they have attacked the police stations, they have attacked the zamindars. They were totally in a violent mode ki nahi bhaiya, we want our forest right, you don't have authority to basically fight against us. Matlab you are the one who are going for the forced labor, you are the one who are doing such kind of activities. Now we will not be oppressed, we will going to fight against you guys. So lot of series of incident has been done, jaise ki attack on police stations, attack on zamindar houses, attack on Britishers, and obviously Britishers were also counter attack with heavy forces. So people, these tribal people with their indigenous weapons, they are actually against the Britishers, and they said that Arya Par ki ladai hogi, and Birsa Munda was actually leading them as a messenger or a spreader of the God. So he's responsible for uniting lot of tribes at that time. But yes, unfortunately, he was arrested on 3rd of February 1900 in your basically the forest that is known as Jamkopai forest. Died at the Ranchi jail in 1900 at the age of basically 25. Tribal people say that he was killed by the Britishers, but Britishers say that he was suffering from your cholera, and this was the reason why Birsa Munda ji died basically in this particularly premises of Ranchi. Now, what were the impact of Ulgun? An impact of this Ulgun movement was your Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act in 1908. So, after his death in 1900, after 8 years, a proper Chota Nagpur Act has been created to basically protect the rights and protect for the rights of tribal, for which your basically Birsa Munda ji was fighting for. So this is one of the major thing which has been came into the picture after the death of Birsa Munda. So even though Birsa died early, the movement forced the Britishers to re-examine the tribal land system, out of which Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act in 1908 came into the picture, and which restored the tribal lands, restricted majority of the Dhikus from coming in the tribal lands, restricted a land transfer from tribal to non-tribal people, increase awareness of the tribal issues in the colonial policy, inspired later tribal revolts like Tana Bhat was also one of the major things, and became a symbol of a tribal identity and rights. Yani ki Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act has actually, in short, you can say that whatever the demands has been kept by Birsa Munda, out of which, like, the particularly rules and the particularly things which has been added in this Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act was kind of one of the inspiration has been taken from the whatever the Birsa Munda ji and the party has decided to be implemented for the tribal people. So the result of all the basically result that yes, he was died because of the different reasons claimed by the tribal people and the Britishers, but at the end of the day, after his death also, this is one of the positive thing which has been happened for the tribal people at that time. So this is also one of the basically Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act 1998. So that's all for this article. We have tried to cover all the aspects which UPSC can ask you from this examination point of view. So chances of basically making answer wrong becomes less. Chaliye. Now, the marble which you can see. So what is the news talking about? So GI tag to the Ambaji marble has been given. So Ambaji is also one of the temple which you will see basically in the region, in the Gujarat region, one of the very famous region among the various people, specifically people from your, not only from the Gujarat but also from your Rajasthan, your Jodhpur region, or basically the extreme desert and desert side people of the Rajasthan. They actually pray this temple of Ambaji. Ambaji is basically the kind of a Durga ji ke roop mein hi, if I am not wrong, it is actually one form of Durga ji only. So Ambaji marble, so the temple, in that temple premises also this Ambaji marble has been used, and recently the Ambaji marble has been given as a GI tag. So this is one of the important thing or article which we will discuss here. Now, Ambaji marble, which is also known as Ambaji white marble, is a very high quality natural basically stone extracted from the Ambaji region of your Banaskant district of your Gujarat. So majorly this Ambaji, because named after your Ambaji temple or the Ambaji goddess, you can see the marble which you will see, which is present from your Banaskant district of Gujarat. And if I am not wrong, Prime Minister Modi has also basically he has visited abhi kuch mahine pehle, kuch saal pehle, if I am not wrong, he also visited the same temple, and he asked people to come to this particularly temple for the tourism perspective. And it is also one of the important temple premises or temple area, one of the major like destination from your Gujarat tourism point of view also. So this is also one of the important basically factor. This is also the important region from there. Now, it is known for its milky white color, highly hardness, crystalline structure, high durability with your basically low porosity, and high sheen and smooth polish quality. So these are the qualities of this Ambaji particularly tile which you will see. Milky white color, high hardness, yani ki all the characteristics which is required for a marble to have a sustainable structure, it is actually fulfilled by this Ambaji tile according to the people. So that's why it has been given the status of a GI tag which you will see. Now, this kind of Ambaji tile is also used for making of various temples and various other monuments which are made in the country. But majorly it is famous for Ambaji temple. Majority of the Ambaji marble is, majority of the temple of Ambaji is actually, the main Garbhagriha of that temple is built from your Ambaji marble. Now, this much is important from examination point of view as a GI tag. Now the next question arises, what are the benefits of GI tag? So first of all, you get an economic benefit. कि भैया क्या फायदा हुआ, what is the benefit? So first of all, you are getting your basically the economical benefits. The local players of basically Ambaji marble, they will now become not only nationalized, it will give them opportunity to come out from your Gujarat and Rajasthan, plus it helped them to become a national market player, and plus it will also going to help them internationalize as well. So definitely it is actually improving the economic status of the individual. So, enhance market value. So, obviously it will going to improve economy, because in economy in group they can actually work on the prices of basically the market value of those Marbles will become, it will definitely going to help the people, plus the value will increase, local employment will going to increase, and obviously it will going to also work on, also promote your, encourage mining and development in that region. So all these factors will going to affect, these are the benefits of your giving any product as a GI tag. And the first GI tag in the India has been given to your, if I ask you कि भैया भारत देश में ऐसा कौन सा पहला प्रोडक्ट है which has been given GI tag, what will be your answers? So definitely give your answers in the comment so that we understand that you are actually following the current affair very seriously, because earlier we have discussed about the GI tag and we have discussed about which of the following product has been given the first GI tag status in the country. So I am expecting some of the answers in comment box after some time. So it prevents any kind of a limitation, it will going to enhance the market value, it will boost the trade, local employment, in fact all the economic related opportunities will be provided to the people of this region. Now, अब UPSC can ask you, UPSC like can ask you anything. अब UPSC if ask you in prelims perspective, let's say it has not asked you about Ambaji marble. If it asks you about the other marbles who have been given the GI tag and from which particular area, then you should also be aware of those basically marbles which are actually also given your GI tag. So marbles who have been GI tag, so Ambaji marble, obviously Gujarat, milky white, high hardness. The other particularly marble which has been given the GI tag is your Markana marble. Markana marble, Rajasthan, used in Taj Mahal, premium white which you will see. Then Bhedghat marble, Madhya Pradesh, marble rocks of Narmada, and your Kadapa stone of basically Andhra Pradesh, black limestone. So these are the other stone or marbles which you will see which have been given your GI tag. So if UPSC asks you to match the following, so if they ask you like Markana marble, Bhedghat marble and Kadapa stone. So if they ask you these are the marbles and these are the states, from where does it belong? So you should aware of this as well कि भैया there are other stones in marble also which has been given the GI tag, and they are your Ambaji marble, Gujarat, obviously the particular thing which we have studied. Makarana marble from Rajasthan which was also used in Taj Mahal as a premium white. Bhedghat, MP, found on the river belts of on the Narmada, marble rocks of Narmada, and Kadapa stone of your Andhra Pradesh, that is a black limestone which has been given this particularly status. So hope so these articles are clear till now. Then the next article is related to your electronic development fund. So electronic development fund से याद आया, recently India Forge नहीं, there is a company Idea Forge if I am not wrong. Idea Forge is a company which has been given a basically order of 100 crore by your Indian Army. Now you will ask कि what is the order which has been given by Indian Army to this basically Forge company. So Indian Army has given 100 crore order for creating drones. So and the name of that drone is Zolt. So if UPSC asks you the Zolt term, Zolt and the Switch 2 drones, Zolt, Switch 2 and the Volt, these three kind of a drones which we have asked this Forge company to basically develop by giving them a 100 CR order. So if UPSC asks you recently the term your Zolt and your Switch 2 has been seen in news related to what? So it is actually your drone and unmanned vehicles which Indian Army has given your basically order to develop such kind of a drones in the system, because drones are now highly used in military and defense equipment point of view, because एक तो it's a cost friendly, यानी कि as compared to the fighter jets it is pocket friendly, plus it is very effective. In short you can say that it is chota packet bada dhamaka. So this is also the concept which you will see. Now electronic development fund. So with rupees 2257.77 crore invested, electronic development fund supported 128 Indian startups nationwide. So first of all, what is this electronic fund? And what are the other aspects related to it? So first of all, it was launched in 2016. It is one of, from the name itself you can understand कि ये जो funding है, it is actually given something related to the electronic related startups, चाहे वो research and development हो, चाहे it is related to any kind of robotics development, AI development. So this is the particularly fund which has been initiated in 2016. And Ministry of Electronics and MITI is basically the department under which it is working, that is Ministry of Electronic and Information and Technology. And aim here you can see is to basically promote research, development and entrepreneurship in the fields of electronics, nanoelectronics, information technology, which we have discussed abhi ke abhi. Now, what are the EDF? एक बार और थोड़ा सा general specific definition which we can see. So it is also initiative, okay, one more thing. It is an initiative under Digital India and Make in India. Yani ki the particular EDF fund is working to make India Atmanirbhar in the digital world, in the electronic world. So you can say this statement like this also, ki EDF is also one of the important basically aspect to make India Atmanirbhar in digital stuff or the electronic stuff. That's why this initiative, that is Electronic Development Fund, you can say it's a major initiative under your Digital India and Make in India, obviously aim to promote your innovations, startups, venture capital formations, funds, electronic, nanoelectronics and IT sectors. So this is what actually the aim of this basically fund. Now the another important aspect. If UPSC asks you which of the following is the launching authority of this. So which ministries actually have launched this initiative? So that is your Ministry of Electronics. Take. Very good. If they ask you who is implementing this your EDF, so it is not Ministry of Electronics, which is the particularly implementing agency which is responsible for it, then it is your CanBank Venture Capital Fund. Theek. Then if UPSC asks you what is the nature of the fund, it is also known as fund of funds, or it is also known as mother fund. So if UPSC asks you which of the following funds is known as mother fund, so the fund name is your EDF, that is Electronic Development Fund, is known as mother fund. So what is the nature of this fund? That is EDF, it's a fund of fund, yani ki it's a very huge kind of a funding system which you will see, that's why it is known as mother fund. So we have studied here as a mother fund. Abhi isi article mein later we will also going to discuss about your daughter funds. So if UPSC asks you mother fund kaun hai, so that is EDF kind of a funds. Funds of funds are your mother funds. Then if UPSC asks you what are daughter funds, the funds which are provided under EDF, that is known as actually the daughter funds. Abhi we will see that in article itself. So what is the objective is basically to support and promote the startups which are related to it. Now what is the key objective of EDF? Obviously to promote research and development, to promote startups related to electronics and nanotechnology, strengthen your research and development in the country, increase domestic value, improve export, reduce imports in the electronic and electronic related substances. So these are basically the kind of an initiative or kind of the reasons or objectives of this EDF. Plus we want to actually also build a venture capital kind of a ecosystem, so the people, so the companies who are actually thinking of work something in your electric department or your something related to the technological startup, robot se kuch bhi want to they startup anything, so that we can provide them an environment where they can get a particular place for the research and development, assistance from the big authorities, funding from the major investments. So this is also one of the major thing which you will see under this basically objective of this EDF. Plus obviously one more objective is this, that is a generalized objective which you will see. It will going to promote or it will going to generate more and more employment in the region. So this is also one of the major thing which you will see. Now how EDF works, obviously, so the majorly the professionally manage these venture capital fund, they came up with their basically system and they invest in the projects which are related to your chip sector, Internet of Things, medical equipments, robotics, semiconductors, EV, battery, drones, every technological. यानी कि we can say that कि ये है critical technology, critical information technology. What are the critical information technology? So these are the critical information technology from where you are actually making a critical things in the society. And if these and the information related to these if has been leaked, then definitely it will going to affect the internal security of the country as well. So that's why these are also known as critical information technology or critical information kind of a products as well. So these venture capital, they decide and they are actually basically what they are doing, they are funding in such kind of a basically things which are associated with this. And government participation is reduced. Why? Because government का जो होता है, if they invest तो उनका ये रहता है कि नहीं, we want development, they need results एक साथ. But if private investments are there, then definitely it is also helping the basically system to grow. If money is not appropriate, then private investors will going to fund more. They will arrange funds more for the particular development if they are agree कि yes, this particularly the startup which is actually going to start, once it will going to start it will going to change the scenario of the electronic department of the country, then definitely private investors will actually try for more and more funds. So that's why we believe that कि this EDF fund में we try कि government का कम से कम stakeholder है, यानी less than 49%. यानी we don't make governments a major stakeholder in such kind of initiative. Sometimes very less kind of a stakeholding has been given to government, but major players here are the particularly private sector or investors are the major particularly players in this. Now what is the importance? It will going to improve India export thing also, it will going to reduce India's import thing also, it will going to encourage the people to work on such critical technologies, and obviously it will going to make India a global hub as well. Now, in the very starting I have said that we will going to discuss about the daughter funds as well. So if UPSC asks you what do we mean by daughter funds, so it is actually these kind of a funds is actually which is working or which is given under your mother fund, that is fund of fund, that is EDF ke under whatever the funds are given, these are known as daughter funds. So what are daughter funds? Funds means paisa. So these are the venture capital or the angel funds that receive financial support from the EDF, that is the mother fund. यानी कि EDF के under EDF से associated people, they are actually funding to the basically other particularly projects which is related to electronics, nanotechnologies, hardware, semiconductor, cyber, artificial intelligence, IoT, robotics. These are known as daughter funds. I'm just reading this concept one again so that it will be clear in your minds. These are the venture capitals or angel funds that receive financial support from EDF, that is the mother fund. So EDF, the particularly people who are funding for EDF, they are also their subgroups, and they are also under EDF, they are also basically giving funds to other small startups, and these funds, the whatever the paisa they have given to the other small startups under this EDF, those funds are known as daughter funds. So EDF is a mother fund, fund of fund, and basically the other basically funds which are present under EDF, those are known as daughter fund. What are the initiative? किस sector पे daughter funds are given? Same mother funds में, EDF में the same thing at a larger scale, and same in under daughter fund में same thing at a basically lower scale पे for the lower startup or basically the basic startups के लिए they are giving you the funding, that is known as daughter funding. Hope so I have made myself clear related to your mother fund and your daughter funds. The point here is that if UPSC is asking you anything related to the mother fund and basically your daughter fund, so things should be very clear in your beja. Now the next article, tungsten. Tungsten is a kind of a mineral which you will see which is present in the country, or recently Hindustan Zinc Limited has received the license to explore mine of tungsten block in your Andhra Pradesh. So from here you can see that tungstens look like this. So recently your Hindustan Zinc Limited has received a license to explore these tungsten site in your Andhra Pradesh. So from here one thing is clear कि कहाँ tungsten sites are present. So Andhra Pradesh is one of the major hub of this tungsten minerals which are present. Now you will see PYQ, so you will see the questions, the type of questions which are asked from such things. कि such kind of minerals or components or such kind of basically whatever the particularly kind of minerals which you will see. So they are asking you कि भाई क्या है, what is the characteristics, what is the features of that particularly mineral or that particularly component, or what is actually the uses of that. So we'll see each and everything accordingly what UPSC can ask you from this particularly sector. So first of all, what is the basically छोटा सा है, just an extra information, what is actually the symbol or what is the symbol of this tungsten? So it is not T, it is W. What is the atomic number? 74. It is not important from examination point of view, पर भूले बिसरे if UPSC says that ki the symbol of tungsten is W and the atomic number is 73, so the statement will become wrong, because yes, the chemical element with the symbol is W, but the atomic number is not 73, it's 74. Now, who are the major producers? Obviously, our best friend, China. He is the major global producers. Then you will see our coming best friend, which is actually genuinely not a sarcasm. We are trying to improve our defense relationship with Vietnam also. So that's why Vietnam is the second largest basically producer of this tungsten. And then you will see Russia, obviously our best friend forever, and the North Korea. Out of these countries, 4 who are the global producers of this tungsten, 2 are kind of our good friend. जैसे कि वियतनाम एंड रशिया से वी शेयर अ गुड रिलेशनशिप, चाइना से ऑब्वियसली अ रिलेशनशिप, वी नो दैट कि व्हाट काइंड ऑफ अ रिलेशनशिप वी शेयर विद चाइना, बट नॉर्थ कोरिया के साथ वी हैव अ रिलेशनशिप, वेरी लिमिटेड रिलेशनशिप, स्पेसिफिकली रिलेटेड टू यूरेनियम एंड द अदर एस्पेक्ट्स. बट आवर कंसर्न विद नॉर्थ कोरिया इज दैट कि नॉर्थ कोरिया इज एक्चुअली कभी कभी इट बिकम्स मोर क्लोज टू पाकिस्तान. So this is our concern, and presence of such minerals which are very important for the critical energy technology, and if the country which is one of the major producer of such things and he is a friend with our neighbor country, that is your Pakistan, then it becomes concern for us. So that's why also we try to maintain relationship with the North Korea time to time, because we don't want ki North Korea to go close to basically your Pakistan. So it has been criticized, it has been basically classified as a critical mineral in the government of India. Obviously we have discussed ki how many critical minerals are there in the country. In last article itself we have discussed about the same thing when we were talking about one more mineral which is related to this. So we have discussed about this. I am not going to discuss in detail, but yes, from this perspective it becomes important. They can ask you these are the minerals, which of the following minerals are under your critical mineral policy of India, which are classified under critical mineral. So such kind of statement, such kind of option based question can be asked by UPSC. So please make sure you are aware of all the critical minerals which are present under your, which are classified by your government of India under this critical mineral as a critical mineral. Now it occurs in a rock form, यानी कि ज़्यादातर पहाड़ पत्थरों के बीच में you can see it's a pure metal, it can't be used, and plus it is very basically you will see it is also present in shellite form. Now that is not important. Here what is important, what are the key properties? First of all, it has a very high melting point, यानी कि इतना आसान नहीं होता है इसको पिघलाना. It does not melt even in an extreme heat. Now from here you can have, from your common sense you can realize, if tungsten is having a very high extreme point, यानी कि very high melting point, that means कि अगर ये extreme heat में also it is not melting, that means कि it must be used in a defense sector for making planes and fighter jet. So this is one of the major use. This is also one of the use of tungsten which you will see. This property or characteristics make it one of the major component for your defense sector. Second, very dense and heavy, yani ki it is almost heavy as a gold if you will see. That's why it is used in bullet and armor piercing shells, yani ki that's why tungsten is used to making bullets, because it is very heavy as gold. So this is the second key property of tungsten which you will see. Third, very hard. These are very hard because of very hard. It is almost like a diamond, very hard. That's why it is used for making different kind of weapons, which is also different kind of weapons, and particularly it is very useful for your critical energy development point of view. So high melting point, very dense like our gold, and very hard like basically very dense and heavy like basically a gold also, and very hard like your diamond. These are the characteristics. Plus it is a very good conductor of electricity. That's why it is also used in the electronic sector. So it's a good conductor of electricity. That's why it is used in a bulb filaments. Now what is bulb filaments? तो आप ऐसा करके bulb देखते हो, इट्स लाइक अब तो ये बहुत कम इस तरीके के बल्ब्स विच यू कैन सी, और इस तरीके से उन बल्बों में होता था, एंड दिस इज द फिलामेंट. सो इट इज एक्चुअली टंगस्टन इज यूज्ड इन मेकिंग सच दीज काइंड ऑफ फिलामेंट्स. इफ यू रिमेंबर, दीज वर द फिलामेंट्स जो पुराने बल्ब होते थे, उसमें सच काइंड ऑफ फीचर्स कैन बी सीन. सो दीज फिलामेंट्स वर मेड फ्रॉम बेसिकली योर टंगस्टन, बिकॉज टंगस्टन्स आर अ वेरी गुड बेसिकली सोर्स ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी और कंडक्टर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. प्लस they are resist heat and wear. पहले हमने देख लिया, the extreme melting point is very extreme, so this is that's why actually इतना ज़्यादा expand नहीं होते after heating. This is the reason why it is used for a defense sector or the critical information center, and the corrosion resistant, यानी कि बहुत जल्दी इसमें जंग नहीं लगती है. This is also one of the important characteristics which actually that's why we use it for different purposes. Now you will ask, what are the uses of tungsten? तुमने बता तो दिया, these are the properties of this, but why, from which are the particularly fields which is used for? So the area or the uses which you will see. So obviously bulb filaments we have already saw, because it is a good conductor of electricity, तो bulb filaments में use होता है. Cutting tools and drill में से ज़्यादातर because it is very hard, so it is used for cutting tools as well. ठीक है. Then armor piercing bullets, because of the hard nature and the basically that nature also a very hardened nature, that is also the reason why we use it for the bullets purpose. Rocket engine and aerospace parts, because it has a melting point बहुत extreme है, यानी कि worst case में भी it will not going to melt. This is the reason why it has been basically rocket engines and aerospace में it is used. And high temperature furnace part, यानी कि because it has a temperature acceptance quality, because of which ऐसे सेक्टर में यूज़ किया जाता है जहाँ पे फायर या आग ज़्यादातर ये रेजिस्ट कर सके. सो दीज आर द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ बेसिकली टंगस्टन विच यू विल सी. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स में इट इज़ यूज इन एक्सरे ट्यूब्स एंड थिंग. रेडिएशन शील्डिंग यानी मेडिकल इंडस्ट्री में इट इज़ यूज, एंड वॉचेज एंड ज्वेलरी में भी टंगस्टन इज़ यूज. नाउ if galti se UPSC have asked question from here, so definitely which are the uses of tungsten, yeah, particularly they can give you about the uses, and they can ask you the above criteria or the uses of which mineral. So actually you are basically tungsten. They can also ask you which of the following are the uses of tungsten, yeah, in which of the following industry tungstens can be used. So these are the basically uses of tungsten in the various kind of industries which you will see. So this is basically, that's it for this article. Now the next art which you will see, this is an art which is known as your वृंदावनी वस्त्र. ठीक है. This वृंदावनी वस्त्र अभी थोड़ा सा zoom करके you will see. So it is actually showing the characteristic, or it is showing about the features of your Krishna Leela. So this is actually about the Krishna ji life, and this is a very beautiful art which is made on the cloth of paper, मतलब piece of cloth, I'm so sorry, piece of cloth. Now why this is a news? Because Assam Chief Minister is going to basically your British Museum, because he say that कि यहाँ पर चुरा के लेके गए थे उसको, और वहाँ पर ब्रिटिश म्यूजियम में इट हैज़ बीन केप्ट. सो वी वांट आर दिस बेसिकली योर वृंदावनी वस्त्र बैक इन आवर कंट्री. सो दिस इज द पर्टिकुलरली न्यूज़ विच यू विल सी, इट इज एसोसिएटेड विद दिस वृंदावनी वस्त्र. सो असम चीफ मिनिस्टर रिसेंटली लेफ्ट फॉर लंडन टू इनिशिएट द प्रोसेस फॉर ब्रिंगिंग बैक द रिवर्ड वृंदावन वस्त्र फ्रॉम द ब्रिटिश म्यूजियम. नाउ ऐसे इजीली नहीं कि ब्रिटिश यार असम चीफ मिनिस्टर हैव डिसाइडेड कि मैं जाके वृंदावनी वस्त्र लेके आऊँगा. नहीं, अ प्रॉपर मीटिंग एंड सिटिंग एंड क्राइटेरिया हैव बीन अग्रीड अपॉन, एंड देन दे हैव डिसाइडेड कि ठीक है तुम ये लेकर जाओगे. नाउ what is the terms and conditions which they have agreed upon? British agreed had said that कि भैया तुम्हें पहला तो एक म्यूजियम तुम्हारे अपने देश में बनाना पड़ेगा. One of the key condition is that only I will going to allow you to basically keep this as take this back only when you will going to create a particularly museum for it, a proper state of art museum in your state. Only then, this is one of the major conditions, only then I will going to give you this back as a Vrindavani Vastra. Now British Museum has agreed to loan the Vastra to Assam for 18 months in 2027 under the certain condition. Plus they said that we will also going to provide you loans. You just have to create a basically museum under which environment this thing can be prevailed, yani ki it can be promoted. Then obviously private sector is also included, center government is also helping in Assam government, but the point here is that from examination point of view, Vrindavani Vastra is important, and we will discuss about this Vrindavani Vastra and who was the individual responsible for making this Vastra. That is also important. So Vrindavani Vastra is a 16th century sacred textile cloth के ऊपर the proper work has been done and it was specifically made in Assam and it was created by your Shankaradev. So this is also very important. Who was it when it was created? So 16th century mein it was created. Who was the person who was responsible for creating for this? Is Srimant Shankaradev. He was one of the saint reformer and he introduced Neo-Vaishvanite in basically your Assam. So you were also responsible of initiating Neo-Vaishvanite in Assam as well. So this is also one of the important feature which you will see. Now, it shows the scene of Lord Krishna's life which we have already discussed, and it will also show how he was dancing with gopis, lifting Govardhan hill. All the Krishna Leelas and Krishna related stories is actually mentioned or shown in that basically Vastra, Vrindavani Vastra. So that is the important and beauty of this basically Vastra, and it is actually, that's why we are actually, some minister have left for London ki nahi bhai mujhe to ye chahiye, because this legacy belongs to us. It was initiated in 16th century in Assam by Srimant Shankaradeva. So that's why we can't allow you to have access of this basically stuff. Now, it was actually woven on a fine silk के ऊपर बनाया गया है, poetry के verses में है. It is written in Bargeets. Bargeet is one of the speciality of Shankaradeva, and the textile is actually showing the holy importance and showing your Vaishnavite culture, and Shankaradeva is responsible for introducing new Vaishvanite in basically your Assam as well. And in Assam history, he is one of the major player, or he is one of the major or important aspect which you will see. Fatak se, in a very short, let us see what is the importance of Shankaradeva. So what is the importance of Srimad Shankaradeva? He was present in obviously 1499 to 1568. He was saint, social reformer, poetry, playwright, philosopher, everything. He was Assam present. He introduced new Vaishvanite in Assam. This is the second feature which you will see, and he started one dharma that is known as Ek Sarna Dharma. Okay, and which is based on the devotion of Lord Krishna. So if UPSC asks you statement based question from your Srimant Shankaradeva, and if they ask you Ek Sarna Dharma is actually related to what? So it is related to basically the devotion of Lord Krishna at that time under the Bhakti movement Kal. So he started the Ek Sarna Dharma, a Bhakti movement based on devotion of Lord Krishna. This is very important, please make sure. Now we have already discussed, he was the founder of Neo-Vaishvanite in this region. He promoted monotheism, yani ek bhagwan ko mano, believe in one God. Then he also rejected the caste discrimination, idol worship. He is like ki Krishna bhakti mein aap wo ho jao, leel ho jao. Then the another basically concept, he has created a Namghar. Namghar and Shatra system. So Namghar is a community prayer hall. He said that there should be a community prayer hall where everyone can meet and they actually basically pray for the God. Basically they actually come and pray. It's kind of a praying hall ki jahan sab log aake Lord Krishna ke bare mein prayer kar sake. So this is the Namghar which has been initiated, and Shatra is a social religious institution. So if UPSC asks you Namghar and Shatras, what do we mean by that? So Namghar is a community prayer hall which was initiated by your whom? That is Srimant Shankaradeva, and the another one is the Shatra system where he say that all the social and religious institutions will come here. So actually he is one of the person who is responsible for shaping your Assam culture as well. And in Assam when you will go, he is one of the very prominent kind of a historical basically angle of your Assam. So that's why this is the importance of this particularly individual. Now what are the works? This is the favorite part of basically UPSC. I'm asking about the work of such particularly saints or people who were present at that time. ज़्यादातर art and culture perspective से. Now he wrote a Asmi, and he wrote in two languages, that is Assamese and Brajwali. So this is also important. If UPSC asks you in a statement based question कि basically Srimant Shankaradeva, he has written his text in basically only Assamese. So answer is nahi. He has written into two major languages, that is your Assamese and Brajwali. Now one of the literary work of his is Kirtan Ghoksha, main sculpture of Ek Sarna Dharma. Second, Bargeet, devotional songs. Ankiya Nat, that is one act play, yani ki natak. And your Gunmala, that is the summary of Bhagavad Puran. So these are the basically important works which were done by a Srimanta basically Shankaradeva. Kirtan Ghoksha, main sculpture of basically or ek Sarna Dharma. Bargeet, devotional song. Anikyanaat, yani ki natak, which shows about the god and god related things. And Gunmala, that is basically the summary of your Bhagavad Puran. So if UPSC asks you Gunmala recently seen in news related to what? It is actually the summary of Bhagavad Gita, which was written by a Srimant, basically Shankradeva. Artistic or cultural perspective se, he has also created a traditional dance form of Assam, which is known as Ankiya Bhavna. Ankiya Bhavna. So if UPSC asks you, Ankiya Bhavna is present like in which time or in which whose era? So that is Srimant Shankradeva. What is Ankiya Bhavna? So Ankiya Bhavna is a traditional dance drama which was actually present at that time. Bhavna का मतलब ही होता है drama. So that's why Bhavna means a drama, Ankiya means a dance. So this was a dance drama which was introduced by a Srimant basically Shankradeva, and he also encourages music, drama and Vaishnaite tradition. So that's all for today's current affair article. So we have tried to cover a lot of basically articles, important articles from every angle. Hope so you have learned a lot. Hope so you have actually I have explained in a well manner. Now again tomorrow we're going to meet with different articles and with different aspects. So that's all for today. Have a very nice day. We'll meet again tomorrow and have a very great day.